We still have some lightning, but that severe weather threat is shifting more over to the east, pretty much along with that line of the strongest storms. And still some good rain in Atlanta, helping to wash away that pollen. We still have some thunder and lightning, but nothing severe for the metro area right now. That severe weather threat is over to the east of us. And look at that, highest concentration of the lightning right now is along with that line. Here is where we have that severe thunderstorm warning. A lot of lightning with this. Look at Madison, where we have that heavier rain, that leading edge going into Madison right now. This is moving along Interstate 20. Heavy rain in Social Circle, heavy rain down in New Bern, and along I-20, really heavy rain still over, getting into Madison, up toward Bostwick. And what we're seeing on reflectivity here, just some interesting notches that we're watching just to make sure we don't have any additional rotation moving through. That's why we're staying on the air with you, just in case we see any additional rotation developing out of this. Let's go to look at velocity there in that area just to see if anything looks, and Melissa and Chesley, just let me know if y'all see anything. Y'all have been looking at this a little bit closer. You know, we're just seeing some differences in colors there in Jasper County over toward Monticello. In that line, this is indicating some pretty strong winds there. In that line at any moment, we could see any rotation developing, but nothing is really standing out. Chesley, do you have anything from the Weather Service of what they're watching there with that line on the east side?
You know, now that things are starting to push a little bit further over to the east, they're starting to put out a few more of these reports, these damage reports, and they're coming in kind of fast from some of the emergency management here. We have over into Rockdale County, there seems to be some trees down blocking both lanes over there on Troop Smith Road, trees down across power lines over on McDaniel Mill Road. Also, a little further down here, we got Rockdale County, also Tucker Mill Road and Mill Forest Bridge is flooded in that particular area. A little bit further down, there's a nice, we see along Chester-Hurst Road in Sonoya, there's a tree down blocking the lane there. And so we're getting more of these reports where trees are starting to come down, even some power lines down, even reports of power lost in Murrow. Also, some trees have fell on some power lines, so they're down, don't have a lot of power there as well. So these reports are now starting to come in more so than what we're seeing as far as the rotation is concerned. That's maybe starting to weaken a little bit as it pushes over toward the east, but you can see we even have over toward Avondale Estates, a tree down on a resident. On a home there, structural damage on the 1500 block of Alvarado Road. So we're starting to see some of these reports begin to be populated, and so as they come in, Chris will continue to keep you updated on that as well.
All right, thank you, Chesley, for that update, because we said earlier that even though we were getting a few damage reports coming in, we're expecting more to come in, and Chesley's seeing that out there right now. Again, there's that storm that is out to the east. It looks like they've taken a couple of counties out of that severe thunderstorm warning. It's still very large, but not as many counties are in that. You see our weather impact trackers here on the side of your screen. I want to go to Molly Oak right now in one of our vehicles. Molly was in Coweta County when the tornado warning was issued. Molly, just tell me, how are things looking right now? What did you guys see there? I think that you were just away from that area of rotation. Let me know what you saw down there.
Yeah, Chris, we were waiting for the rain to come in. We started getting some sprinkles, drizzles, and then it came in really fast. That rain picked up. We noticed the wind. We saw the water just rushing on the side of the roads. With it, then that's when the tornado sirens.
All right, Molly, sorry, we'll come back to you in a bit. Y'all are going through a signal. We lost you there for a moment, and it was locking up. It looks like you're back. Can we go back to Molly? It looks like it's back now. Molly,
hey, Chris,
go ahead.
Back in again. Yeah. So what we were saying is initially we started seeing a couple droplets of rain, nothing major, and then quickly that changed into a lot of rain, a lot of wind. We saw the water on the side of the roads just rushing through, picking up all that pollen with it. That's when we started hearing a couple cracks of lightning, some thunder, and then that's when the tornado sirens started going off. We heard 2 rounds of sirens, and then what I had never heard before was actually it speaking to us, saying, we're telling people to take shelter immediately, that a tornado warning was in effect, and another round of sirens. Now, things did move very quickly. There was more wind, more rain, and then it quickly changed into just consistent rain. A couple booms of thunder and some lightning. Now we just have a little bit of drizzles of rain. We're actually heading to a new location now where we've heard there is some damage in the area. As for Noonan though, we didn't see a ton of damage after the tornado warning was out of effect. We drove around to a couple of different areas. The main thing we saw was just a little bit of branches in the road. We did see power outage, a couple of lights out, but only a handful or so there. Now we're heading to a new area to look for some damage in the roads, as we're hearing reports of trees down, specifically in the Sonoya area, so that's where we're heading now. But as for Noonan, it did get very intense very quickly, but then passed through just as quickly, which is a lot of rain, some thunder and lightning, and a good amount of wind.
All right, Molly, I'm glad you guys are safe. I wanted to check back in just to make sure that you never were in the worst of it there. We have y'all positioned there, and you were able to document to us the crazy weather that was moving through a little bit earlier. And now just let us know when y'all get into any of those areas of damage, and we'll come back on and kind of let people know what they're sowing there. We are getting sporadic reports. Chesley is just reading off a lot of those to you a little while ago with some damage reports that are around. We have our crews out that are watching. You can see both of those right now on your screen. Molly was in this box here. This is our weather impact tracker that's on the north side right now. We're sending them to areas. Again, both of those are still showing rain, but both of these vehicles are going to be out and able to get to those areas where there's some damage, and we'll get that to you in just a bit. This still looks impressive here on the east side with this band of rain nearing Athens, getting toward Greshamville. You'll notice that this very large polygon that we had earlier is getting a little bit smaller. And what's happening is, as this line of storms moves over to the east pretty quickly, they took out Newton County. They took out parts of Walton County. Rockdale County has been out of that warning for a while. They've taken out parts of Jasper County. Now it's pretty much from Monticello to Monroe. Over to the east, this is what is left. Still multiple counties in that, including Putnam County, East Jasper, Morgan County, Eastern Monroe, Oconee County, Clark County is in that near Athens. It goes into parts of Greene County too. As this line moves through, severe storms. We're talking winds 60 miles an hour, heavy rain, a lot of thunder and lightning right now as the line moves over to the east. This is then going to move into Greene County. So this warning is going to expire at 2:15. I know we're getting up close to the top of the hour. I think we're going to hang with you still at least until 2:15. And we want to wait and see if any new warnings are issued over on the east side to potentially impact Greene County or Oglethorpe County. And just to make sure no new tornado warnings are going to be issued out of this as that line continues moving to the east. This is the timeline pushing into Eatonton in about 7 minutes. Then over to Phoenix. If you're familiar here, there's Eatonton. Near Eatonton and over near the south side of Lake Oconee is the Phoenix area. Then it would move into Enterprise in about 35 minutes. That's up here, well to the east of Athens. Sparta would be well past Eatonton as well. Thompson, Georgia, that would be in about 57 minutes. So that would be well out of our viewing area. And we here in North Georgia, excuse me, and in Metro Atlanta, we'll be able to breathe a little bit more of a sigh of relief. Now, in Atlanta, again, the heavy storms are over. We just still have some rain, we still have some thunder and lightning, but the severe weather threat for the metro area is over. We just have still some good soaking rain. That's also over toward Gwinnett County, over toward Rockdale County. But this is that line from Winder up to the north, to the east of Gainesville, over into parts of Banks County, stretching down through Winder. So this still has to go through Athens. If you're in Athens watching us, we're talking about it being over for Atlanta, the severe threat, but the severe threat hasn't made it to you in Athens yet. Also in Oconee County near Watkinsville, over near Elder, that leading edge about to move into Elder, about to move into Watkinsville. It's over Madison now. It's going to keep moving on over to the east into the Greensboro area with that heavy rain and thunder and lightning and also the strong winds. And again, you see our weather impact tracker there on the side of your screen, our other weather impact tracking vehicle there to the south of us. The one to the south is heading up to near Sonoya, where we have the potential for some damage there. They're going to seek that out. Also, this one on the north side, they're coming south to also look for any potential areas of damage that are there too. So this really large severe thunderstorm warning polygon is a lot smaller now. Still including a lot of counties, but it's pretty much lining up here along that line. It still includes Clark, Morgan, Putnam, and Walton County. This will be in effect until 2:15, and all this is going to exit moving over to the east of us with those stronger storms there with the thunder and lightning winds, again, up to 58, 60 miles an hour. And then moving over to the east, then the next step would potentially be over into areas of Greene County. So Greene County, you're already partially included into that. Oglethorpe County, will keep an eye on you as this moves out. But we haven't seen in the past little while any indications of new rotation with that. And that's why we're holding on a little bit longer, because what we have been seeing are areas of rotation that would get tight, then they would loosen up, and a warning would be canceled. Then it would tighten up again, and we would see a new warning. As of right now, and Chesley and Melissa, I know you guys have been looking at this closer while I've been over here talking. I'm not seeing anything. Well, that near Madison, maybe along I-20, could be an indicator of maybe some weak rotation there, but the Weather Service is not really giving us any indication of that at this hour. But again, to watch there near Madison, the reflectivity shows the really heavy rain there. It's always interesting when we see little notches like this within that on reflectivity between Madison and Godfrey, whether or not that can be any rotation developing out of that. That's why we're staying with you, just to keep an eye on that. But that's all going to be moving to the east very quickly through Greshamville, through Greensboro. Greensboro, you're not in the severe thunderstorm warning. They may issue a new one for you as this continues moving on over to the east, and then it'll be exiting our area. But that's the heaviest part now over on the east side, where we see that heaviest of rain and also the thunder and the lightning there over on the east side at this hour. So we're going to hold with you at least for a little while longer. We want to see this warning expire at 2:15. Take a look at some of the pictures. We're getting some pictures in from our viewers. You guys really help us to tell the story. This is from Glenn Inslee at Hartsfield Jackson, where a little bit earlier today, this is nice video coming in from Glenn showing those winds really strong there with the American flag. He's looks like he was inside here. Good place to be safe there, taking this video outside the window of the really heavy rain moving through. This is from Lauren Wu up in Hiawassee, one of our storm trackers there, just showing as those storms are moving through the mountains of North Georgia. We had all the clouds there and the heavy rain that pushed through Hiawassee. This was as we were tracking those storms up in towns and also into Union County a little bit earlier. That were really strong there. This is from Luke Norris in the Cumming area. Just look at that cloud that was producing very heavy rain. That was kind of the leading edge of some of that heavier rain and the strong winds up in the Cumming area and Forsyth County. And I know that those waves of rain, that's not really a wall cloud, but almost like a shelf cloud. Sometimes that looks really ominous there as it's moving in. If you ever saw that lowering and a wall cloud developing, that's when you could see some rotation out of that. But just a scary view of those clouds there up in Forsyth County in the Cumming area. Thanks to Luke for sending that in to us as well. And you see at the bottom of your screen, if you have any photos, pictures, or videos that you want to send to us, you can message them to us at 404-885-7600. And we'll try to see if we can see any of those on the air too. Let's head over to Chesley right now. He's got the latest as he's been monitoring the latest on National Weather Service chat. Anything new coming in, Chesley?
Just the damage reports that are coming in. You got a lot of trees on roadways, of course, and you also have power lines down in some spots. It's mainly been down to the south of us. Carroll County reporting numerous trees down. You got some over towards Sonoya as well, blocking roadways. So you have to be very careful if you plan on venturing out. Even though the heaviest rain has begun to pass the metro area, we still have some moderate rain out there, as you can see. This loop of the last 2 hours at least, and it shows things advancing, or most of this heavy rain and the lightning advancing a little bit further over toward the east and getting out of the way. We have begun to clear out already for our westernmost counties. Rome, further down to the south, south, Carroll County. This is why we're getting a lot of reports out of Carroll, because the rain has begun to subside. Folks probably venturing out and seeing if they have any damage around. Be very careful doing that, because if there are power lines down, they could be live, folks. So you don't want to go anywhere near any of that, okay? Just let those that are experts get out there and do the work there to restore power if it's out in those spots, or even clear some of those trees. Still, no doubt, it's still a little wet there. Maybe it's a little slick on the roadways. Atlanta, right there on the back doorstep of the city, where we're starting to see the trend of the rain starting to end. Lighter rain right now. There are still a couple lightning strikes around, and we're still hearing thunder here in Midtown over our studios. So there are a few thunderstorms left over, but by and large, the heaviest rain and thunderstorms are well to the east of the city right now. You can see Lawrenceville still got some moderate rain there, down toward McDonough, Zebulon, even down into parts of Thomaston as well. We still have the severe thunderstorm warning that's going to stay in effect for at least another 10 minutes before it begins or is allowed to expire. We got a new one that just popped up just outside of our viewing area, that's down toward the Macon area, with this line that's a little bit further down to the south, that's headed toward the Warner Robins area. Starting to see that amp up a little bit, and no doubt with some winds that are up to about 60 miles per hour. Speaking of the winds, we've been looking at this. Chris and I have been looking at the shift in color, and really what we have been seeing with those tornado signatures is that a spin up would happen briefly, and then it goes right away, and then another one would pop up, which is why we've been saying with you on the air, because it's been right along that line that we still could see a brief spin up. And it's where we're seeing some of these darker colors up against some of these lighter colors. It was along that line we were looking at, and then a tornado warning just happened to pop up. And so we're going to continue to watch this as we go throughout the rest of the afternoon, to watch to see if anything happens to pop up. It is getting very, very close now to getting out of our viewing area, pushing over to the far east. So Sparta in the line of some showers, Milledgeville as well, Slocum, and into Washington. You can be seeing some of that heavy rain. For us back here to the west of this particular system, you're looking at Atlanta, Conyers, down toward McDonough. I think your severe weather threat is over with for the rest of the afternoon. I don't think we have to worry about any of that.